Hey guys, what's up? It's King Christo here, and today I bring you a reasonably priced $3,000 AMD Ryzen Threadripper PC build guide. Now I can already hear the people thinking and writing down in the comments below, Chris, $3,000 is not reasonable at all for any PC build, but let me just explain real quick. So Ryzen Threadripper is an enthusiast platform for people who want the best. The processor alone costs $800, which actually isn't terrible when put against similar spec Intel CPUs, but keep in mind that this is a very expensive platform itself, and so when you put it into the entire picture, $3,000 for this build is actually fairly good. Now before I get into the video, I would like to give a shout out to my Discord. My community is really amazing, and I love to talk to my subs, so the link for that will be down below, as well as my Patreon page. All donations are really greatly appreciated, and they are going to me actually making a PC in the future for editing. Now without further ado, let's get into the build guide, everyone. Okay guys, sorry for the hold up, but before we get into the video, I just want to do a real quick announcement. Now, I am actually going back to school fairly soon. In fact, I'm actually going back to school in the week of this upload. To be specific, I was actually, at the time this was uploaded, I am already back in school. So, I just wanted to say that when it comes to school versus YouTube and other social media, I put school first. I'm not going to mess around. I'm not going to try to put YouTube over school and end up getting bad grades or something because I'm focusing too much on YouTube. So I just wanted to tell you this, guys, because I am not sure if I'm still going to be able to sustain my current schedule of exactly once a week every Friday, but I really just wanted to let you guys know. I hope that you guys understand if I am not uploading as constant anymore, but I will still try to upload fairly frequently, so just remember to stay tuned and subscribed. So for the processor, I chose AMD's Ryzen Threadripper 1920X. This is a 12-core, 24-thread processor, clocked at 3.5 GHz. For the price of just $800, this processor's price to performance is amazing. Now Threadripper is indeed like the big brother of Ryzen 7, having the great price to performance just like it, compared to Intel's other offerings. Now overall, the CPU would perform great in tasks like gaming, and would completely crush anything that uses multiple threads. To cool the CPU, I chose the Corsair H100i V2. The Threadripper X399 socket supports any liquid cooler with the Asetek design, so this cooler would work just fine. It has a 240mm radiator and comes with two 120mm fans designed for static pressure. Overall, this is a liquid cooler for $110. Our 1920X should stay very cool, while at the same time the system should not be very loud. Now keep in mind that any Threadripper CPU needs a motherboard with the X399 socket. I chose the ASRock Taichi motherboard mainly because it's the cheapest X399 motherboard at just around $340 to $350. I also think that the silver accents and gear look fairly nice, and the board has plenty of connection for future upgrades. Threadripper supports quad channel memory, and so all X399 motherboards have 8 DIMM slots. Because of this, I would suggest going with at least 4 sticks of RAM. I went with 4 8GB sticks of Team T-Force Nighthawk totaling 32 gigs. This RAM has a cast latency of 16, but more importantly, has a rated speed of 3200 MHz, which Ryzen CPUs greatly benefit from. It also costs around $280. For the boot drive, I chose the 512GB Samsung 960 Pro. This is an NVMe M.2 SSD and is arguably the fastest available right now. As long as you install your OS and commonly used applications on this, your computer will turn on and load up those commonly used applications really fast. I'd also like to add that an NVMe M.2 SSD is very easy to install, not needing any power cables or SATA data cables. The Samsung 960 Pro also costs $280. For mass storage, I chose a 2TB Barracuda Pro hard drive. This hard drive runs at a speed of 7200 RPM and has 64 MB of cache. These are perfectly fine specs for the price of just $60, and overall, you're going to be able to store any application that is very large on this hard drive. For $760, I chose the GTX 1080 Ti Zotac Amp Extreme Edition for the graphics card in this build. This is a 3-slot GTX 1080 Ti with a 3-fan cooler, so temps should stay pretty stable. It has silver artifacts and a nice backplate, as well as RGB lighting, so it'll look quite nice if your case has a window, and because it has the silver artifacts, it will definitely complement our motherboard. Finally, the 1080 Ti should be able to run most games at either 4K 60fps or 1440p 144fps. The NZXT S340 Elite features a tempered glass side panel and multiple colors, so I decided to put in the build. It costs $100, which is fairly good for all the features. Front I/O includes a power button, an HDMI port for VR, 4 total USB ports, and audio jacks. Surprisingly, there is no reset button, but it's easy to reset your computer within Windows anyways. Finally, it has dust filtration, which is nice if you want the inside of your system looking clean without having to use some compressed air every week. The final component in this build is the power supply. I chose the Corsair RM850X because it costs $115 and will do everything we need, being able to provide 850 watts. Under load, the build should use around 650 watts, so we do have some headroom for overclocking and having peak efficiency. It has an 80+ gold certification, so it is really efficient, and it is modular with black cables, so cable management shouldn't be too difficult. So that was the build, everybody. This build would cost around $3,000 and features the Ryzen Threadripper 1920X. If you guys enjoyed the video, I would like to tell you to go join my Discord server. The link is down below, and I really enjoy talking to all my subscribers. If you guys also enjoyed the video, remember to comment, like, and even consider subscribing. This is King Christo signing off, and peace out.